games. Before we get to the main slate, we got our under the lights section. So this is always fun with our Thursday night game. We got the Patriots, your beloved Patriots, against the New York Jets this Thursday. So I know you're going to be at the edge of your seat. Are you? I guess it's in New York, so you won't be in. You won't be at this game, right?
No, I was there last Sunday when they lost in overtime to the Seattle Seahawks. They put up a good fight, but like I said, Jacoby Brissett threw for 32 yards in the second half. They just they had no adjustments. I mean, Seattle adjusted to them. Hunter Henry went off in the first half, and then they took Hunter Henry out, and it was game over. So we'll see what Thursday night brings, but I don't know if you want me to go right into how I feel, how this game's going to
Yeah,
go.
I can kind of set the tone a little bit. I mean, as far as the spreads go, you got the Jets are favored by 6.5 points, and the kind of a relatively low over under at 38.5 points. So, Ethan, I'll definitely let you kick it off, considering it's your Patriots team you're talking about.
Yeah, the negative 6.5 spread is a little tough, just for the fact that the Patriots have been playing teams very, very tough through the first 2 weeks. They're a team that's not just going to fold and just go away. So 6.5 points does feel like a lot. I do think the Jets are going to win. I do think the Patriots keep it close only if they don't turn the ball over and they can control the clock like they have been for the first 2 weeks. If Jacoby Brissett starts tossing interceptions and things go awry, or it becomes a very negative game script for them, it's going to get ugly quick. But I am picking the Jets. Honestly, I think I'm going to take Jet. This is tough. I think I'll give my Patriots a little credit. I'll go Jets, but I'll probably take the Patriots with the plus 6.5.
I like that. I actually like that take. I'm kind of with you. I think, the maybe the average person looking at the spread may say, "Oh yeah, Jets can cover a touchdown." They got to just win by a touchdown. But I think to your point, Patriots can play teams very close. I think they can kind of help dictate the game a little bit. Just how good their defense is too. And I think with the Jets defense, pretty decent as well. I think the over only being 38 points is dead on too. But yeah, I think Patriots plus 6.5. I wouldn't mind taking to
Yeah, in
cover as
week one,
well.
the Patriots beat the Bengals. They had a few things go their way, but obviously they played them tough and got the W. Week two, I think it's a game that they should have won. Jerome Mayo probably wishes he had a couple of those calls back. I think they probably should have went for it on 4th and 1 in overtime. They never got the ball back. The Seattle Seahawks went down, kicked the field goal to win the game, but two tough fought matches, which is why I think the 6.5 points, I think, is a decent amount because it's a division game. The Jets and Patriots always play pretty close. So I do like the Patriots with the points. But that being said, the Patriots need to get things going with their receivers. I mean, right now, through 2 weeks, Aaron, I'm just throwing this out there. How many yards do you think Patriots receivers have in total
Oh,
through 2 weeks?
under 100.
It's under 100. Yes, 85 yards, right?
Ooh,
85 yards through 2 weeks. Their leading receiver right now is KG Osborne with 28 yards.
ooh.
Tyquan Thornton, 27 yards. Polk, 18. Demario Douglas, 12. Like 85 yards from your receivers. That's just it's insane. Like I was actually listening to local sports talk radio, WEI, and they kind of brought up this crazy stat. They're like, in the last 10 years, 32 qualifying teams a year. So 320 teams, right? Out of 320 teams through 2 weeks, the Patriots receiving core, their yardage total ranks 320. This is the worst receiving group in terms of yardage through the first 2 weeks in the last 10 years. It's just bad. I knew it was going to be bad with the wide receiver position, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Right now, Jacoby Brissett has very little time to throw. He's been getting the ball out quick, but it's just short, intermediate passes. He doesn't have much time to allow plays to develop. So maybe that's the issue. But if the Patriots don't figure that out quickly, I mean, the Jets have a good defense. They can, I mean, they don't even have to do any work to shut down the Patriots receivers. But if they start shutting down Ramondre Stevenson and they force Brissett to throw the ball to those outside receivers, I think it may be a long day. And then that's where I can see that the Jets um, uh, easily beating that touchdown spread there. So that's just my two thoughts on that's my 2 cents on the New England Patriots right now. They play teams tough, but it may start to get ugly quick if they can't start turning things around offensively.
I was gonna say, Ethan, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Uh, but no, I think that's kind of a good prelude to the game. We'll kind of, a lot of times in these under the light games, the Thursday night captains, you really got to kind of understand how the game flow is going to go, and before you pick your captains, right, or at least pick what pieces you got in your lineup. So let's move on to that. I'll go on and kick it off here. Um, with my pick here. So my captain is kind of, to me, just one where I didn't waste too much time thinking about it. Because I went with this guy right here with Brees Hall as my
There he
captain.
is.
So I think a couple things I like about this is just getting the running back as my captain, where it's probably not going to be a whole lot of passing yardage overall in this game. What we've seen, I mean, Jets are kind of letting you down slightly as far as just their overall offense. I think Aaron Rodgers is showing flashes, but they're not really a high octane offense. But the one shiny piece they still got is Brees Hall. So I'm going Brees Hall. I think he's the number one captain of the week, but I think rightfully so. So he's my captain this week.
One shiny object. A lot of disrespect to Garrett Wilson right there. A lot of disrespect.
Oh, good.
But no, I mean, you can't go wrong with Brees Hall. I, I mean, there's a very, very, very good possibility that he is the number one scoring fantasy player out of the Thursday night game. He's just been an absolute animal through the first 2 weeks. Um, I mean, imagine if Braylon Allen didn't cut into his workload.
Right.
He'd be really crushing. But yeah, I guess we'll see how the Patriots can. I mean, the Patriots always usually do a good job of containing your number one option. That's either Brees Hall or Garrett Wilson. So that might be tough sledding for the Patriots because Brees Hall has just been great on the ground and through the air. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Brees Hall. You need to ride the hot hand. And right now, the offense of the New York Jets is going through Brees Hall. Yeah, so I do like that call. I went in a slightly different direction. I was thinking about potentially going Brees Hall, but I went with Garrett Wilson. I feel like Garrett Wilson, as along with Brees Hall, has a ton of upside. Just being in the stands and watching JSN and DK Metcalf torch the New England Patriots secondary. That was one of the big reasons why I went with the upside pick in Garrett Wilson. I think it's just a matter of time before he has a blow up game, and that might be Thursday night. Like I said, JSN went 12 for 117. DK went 10 for 129 against this Patriots defense. Right now, the Patriots defense has given up the fourth most DraftKings points to opposing wide receivers this season. So I do think that lends well to Garrett Wilson. And if I'm the Patriots, I mean, I think your main focus defensively needs to take Brees Hall out of the game. Because in the passing game, I mean, it's Garrett Wilson and not much else. I mean, Alan Lazard, Tyler Conklin's been a disappointment for the first couple of weeks. So I think Garrett Wilson has just that upper echelon ceiling along with Brees Hall. But I mean, I just think at some point he's going to take off, and it might be Thursday night against my beloved Patriots.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. I mean, I think if you're looking at captains, I think you kind of go back and forth. Do I want Brees Hall or I want Garrett Wilson? I think those are your top stars.
They're
So
both
yeah,
expensive.
they're both expensive. And then we're also going with guys, from a favor. The Jets are favored as well too. So yeah, can't hate it there. So I think with in both of those scenarios, if you pay up to get those captains, yeah, I think you got to find your value plays. So let's move on to who I can kind of combine who I got and I paid in a little cheaper with in my lineup. So with Brace, I kind of looked down and the more I thought about it, the guy that I like the most value wise in my lineup is $5,000, and I'm going with Greg the Leg Zerline. So
Nice.
I think Jets kicker. I think alluding to going back to that spread. One thing that tells me is that it could be a 3 or 6 point game, according to Vegas too. And I think field goals could possibly win it for the Jets, where I think New England can keep it close. I do as I think we both were saying I think Jets they'll still pull it out, but it may not be with touchdowns. So I like the idea of getting a Jets kicker in my lineup.
No, Greg the leg. That's a great call. I was putting him in my lineup, taking him out, putting him in, taking him out. So and along with what you said, I think it's going to be a potential field goal kicking kind of night, because I do think the Patriots defense is good. I think the Jets have a good defense too. So I think the kickers are going to have a lot of opportunity, especially on the Jets side, because I think the Jets can move the ball better than the Patriots can. So I definitely like the Greg the leg call for 5,000. There was a few options I was thinking about in this category. Greg the leg was one, but I think I'm going to go with the Jets defense at 5,200. I, like I was alluding to, I don't think the Patriots can keep getting away, not throwing to the wide receivers and just pounding the rock. At some point, defenses are going to catch on. Like I said, Seattle held Brissett to 32 passing yards in the first half. Once they're like, hey, you know what? All they're doing is throwing to Hunter Henry. And maybe let's take Hunter Henry away and force him to throw to other guys. And that's exactly what they did. And he couldn't find anybody. So the Jets have a lot of talented playmakers. And at $5,200, I mean, if Brissett makes a few mistakes, or if the Patriots start unraveling at the seams, I don't think it's a. I think the Jets do have a lot of upside defensively. So that was a guy that the Jets defense was somebody that I think is a potentially good play here. And then I brought him up a little earlier, but I was also thinking potentially Braylon Allen, because if this game does get out of hand and Braylon Allen can fall in the end zone like he did last week for his price point of I believe it's 5,200, I don't think that's bad either. So I know I'm giving Jets a lot of credit right now, but those are some of the price points that I like, because it was tough. I mean, it was tough getting a lot of studs. You couldn't get all the studs in your lineup, obviously, having Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall as your captain. So you really had to be a little creative.
I agree. And I think the Jets defense is, I think I got him in there too. So I think and another time where we got a similar lineup, just swapped our captains around a little bit. But yeah, I agree with the Jets D. I think with how good that secondary is, if they are up on the Patriots, I think it might not be a great story. But I mean, we'll definitely see. I mean, they beat they beat Burrow and the Bengals week 1, so and then they went in overtime week 2. So I'm not gonna discredit the Patriots too much. They're not really I guess they're playing a little bit different than what I was expecting coming in 2024.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's they're definitely much more competitive than I thought. But the ugly side of things started to show itself in that second half against Seattle with how bad their offense was. So, I mean, I think Brissett only had 150 yards passing the entire game. So that's not going to get it done week in and week out. And as more and more tape is out there on this Patriots offense, it's going to be easier for defensive coordinators to prep against this team. So that's what I'm worried about. So we'll see if the Patriots can continue to fight and keep these games close. And hopefully the wheels don't fall off Thursday night.